Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about this current trend that is happening online right now. Okay, people all over the internet right now are searching "sell my home." Okay, this is this is something very similar like 2008. Okay, something strange is happening right now online across the United States. Internet searches for one phrase are spiking: "sell my home." If that sounds familiar, well, maybe because this is the same thing that happened right before the 2008 housing crash. Okay. See, back then in 2007, homeowners started to panic quietly. All right. This was happening way before the headlines, way before everyone caught up. All right. With what was really going on. People who stretched their budgets to buy, big or borrowed, they borrowed mortgages on adjustable rate mortgages. They suddenly saw their payments go up. All right. So Google search data started showing a rise in sell my homes, how to avoid foreclosure, and housing prices falling. Within months, the bubble burst. All right. Today, the exact same search. All right. These exact same searches, the exact trends are climbing again. All right. Homeowners across the country are currently typing the exact same words into Google. Why? I would say maybe because, financial pressure is building. I would say maybe because the economy is not doing as great as they're telling you that it is. Unemployment may not be as low as they're saying. All right. So the recent spike in sell my home searches is basically tracking national anxiety, similar to the months leading up leading into the 2008 housing crash. But today we have hard data. Yeah, sure, it's different. Every time there's a crash, every time there's a financial whatever, they always say, oh, this time is different. This time is different. Yeah, I guess it is different, but the results are the same. All right. But today there's hard data revealing several states where the cracks are showing most visibly. All right. There's an article here from realtor.com is basically talking about this. Let me go ahead and see if I could share that with you guys. All right, so this is top 10 states where inventory is piling up the most. Let me just scroll down here for a second, just a little bit. As you can see, like Nevada, the biggest ones here is basically North Carolina. Right here, look at California. California right there, number 4. All right. 77,000. And you got things like Washington State and stuff like that. That's Washington State. So I'm going to leave this graphic up while I talk a little bit, so you guys can go ahead and maybe pause the video or follow along and take a look at this map and take a look exactly where this is happening. All right, Nevada inventory of homes for sale surged by 52% year over year, the fastest growth in the country. Experts are saying, I'm going to switch back here. So experts are saying sell-offs are sell-offs and a sharp pullback in buyers' demand, which mirrors the panic that first hit bubble that that happened in the financial bubble, in the housing bubble. That's what we saw. We saw similar activities happening between 2007 and 2008. All right, Maryland. Active listings up 48% compared to what it was last year. The climb in inventory points to sellers getting worried about falling prices and eager to dump properties before the market shifts further. Oregon, Portland is leading a statewide collapse with active listings up 35%. Median listing prices dropped 12%, 12.6%, almost 13%. That's $68,000 per homeowners. All right, they lose in value. Okay, and nearly 2/3 of sales include aggressive sellers, concessions, just to get deals closed. North Carolina, the state is rapidly shifting from a high pandemic era demand to oversupplies and price drop. We're seeing a trend like this all over the country, right? Like places where during COVID, everyone migrated to, and so builders started building in these states. These were not real organic growth. These were people working remotely. A lot of people wanted to get out of New York and California, so they went to these states. So the housing prices went up, inventory went up. Now everything is back to normal. People are shifting again. People are leaving those states, and then this is what you're seeing. All right, so you're having demand oversupplying and price dropping, affordability vanish. Mortgage rates are freezing out a lot of buyers, and sellers are often desperate to sell. That's what's happening right now in North Carolina. Tennessee, fast growing cities like Nashville saw inventories climb by 30% in a year. With months of supply ballooning nearly 50%, sellers are struggling amid a flood of available homes and slowing migration. Florida and Texas, high expected listing activity and oversupply are forcing sellers to cut prices and offer incentive. Okay, Florida is especially hit hard by insurance spikes and rapid increases in homes for sale. Now, the thing is, okay, so now you may say, hey, listen, I live in New York, I live in different places, or, I don't live anywhere on the, let's just say you don't live anywhere near this map. You're like, hey, listen, I don't live anywhere near this map. It doesn't affect me. But we need to pay attention to it because this is not just going to happen in these states. Like, this is what happened, I think, in 2008. Like, it was happening overseas at first. We're like, yeah, look what's happening overseas. It doesn't really affect us because we're in America. Currently, right now, like, most of Europe is in financial trouble, all right? England, you look at France. I did a video on that. I'm going to do a video on the UK. Germany, like, they are experiencing financial turmoil in those countries, all right? So you guys can go ahead and take a look. There's protests. There's a lot going on over there. And we may think on this side, hey, listen, this is not us. It's not going to affect us. Yeah, well, it can. It can come here, all right? And these things that are happening right now are, I would say, the canary in the coal mine, the early signs of what's to come, all right? National inventory of homes for sale climbed nearly 25% year over year, with several states back above pre-pandemic listing levels for the first time since 2020. All right. In distressed states, median prices have dropped 10 to 20%, while the average days on market have doubled or tripled compared to previous years. Sellers are increasingly offering tens of thousands in closing cost assistance, mortgage rate buydowns, and other concessions, reminiscent of the desperate measures seen leading up to the 2008 financial crisis and the housing crash, okay? Just like before the last housing crash, anxious homeowners and investors are racing to sell, okay? Searching, sell my home, and flooding the online listing sites with properties. States with rapid inventory increases today. Let's see. We can talk about these. Like I showed on the map here. Nevada, big trouble. I think Nevada is also in financial turmoil as well. So you have Nevada, and whenever like things like this happen, like this in Nevada, or like maybe like strip clubs or things like that, if they're closing or they're losing money, it shows you what's really going on in the economy. People don't have disposable income to go to Vegas to gamble and do these things anymore. Like, when money get tight, people are not sure about the economy or the future of the economy. They pull back. All right, they don't spend extra cash on taking vacations or going to gamble or go to strip clubs or anything like that. Right. So these things you start to see whenever you start to see turmoil and trouble in those areas of the economy, know something big is really brewing under the surface. All right. Places like Maryland, Oregon, North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Texas, all face severe. These states that I just said, they faced prior severe housing trouble during the last housing bubble, making this current trend a potential early warning signs. Okay. If this thing here, if this panic signals, if these panic signals, if these panic signals is what's happening in these states right now, if these things deepen or if it spread, it could be a turning point for the next boom and bust cycle. So if you're sitting on the sideline, you say, hey man, should I buy a house right now? I cannot afford it. These housing prices are too expensive. Normally when you start to see these things, anywhere between 12 to 18 months is probably where you might see a big turnaround in the economy, or maybe there might be some opportunities for you. If you're a first-time home buyer, you feel like you've been locked out of the housing market, there might be some opportunities coming within the next maybe 12 to 18 months. So maybe right now, if you can save money and do these things, I would start to look into doing something like that. All right. Because so watch out. I would say I would watch these states closely. All right. Because their problems could shape exactly what's going to happen throughout the housing future of the entire country. These are the first warning signs. So let's see if these things deepen. Maybe it'll reverse a little bit, but I would say, let's keep a close eye on that and see what happens next. But anyway, so that's all going to be all for today, guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you soon. Take care.